Marlon Brando stars as the head of the Corleone Mafia family. The film is set during the wedding of the Don's daughter and Carlo Rizzi. One of the men who asks the Don for a favor is a successful mortician. The Don's youngest son Michael, Al Pacino, arrives at the wedding and tells his girlfriend Kay Adams, Diane Keaton, anecdotes about his family. The wedding scene serves as critical exposition for the remainder of the film. The Don also receives congratulatory salutations from Luca Brasi, a terrifying enforcer in the criminal underworld. The baker, Nazorine, who made Connie's wedding cake, who wishes for his nephew Enzo to become an American citizen. Woltz holds a grudge because Fontaine seduced and ruined a starlet. Woltz is persuaded to give Johnny the role when he wakes up early the next morning and feels something wet in his bed. He screams in horror when he discovers the severed head of his prized $600,000 stud horse. Vito Corleone refuses to enter the narcotics trade. The Don's eldest son, Sonny, breaks rank during the meeting and begins to question Sollozzo's assurances as to the family's investment being guaranteed. Don Corleone is gunned down in an assassination attempt just outside his office. It is not immediately known whether he has survived. Frito was assigned driving and protection duty for his father when Paulie Gatto had called in sick. Sollozzo abducts Tom Hagen and holds him for several hours. When Tom is released, Sollozzo gets word that the Don has survived the attempt on his life. He angrily tells Tom to convince Sonny to accept his offer. Sonny issues an ultimatum to the Tattaglias: turn over Sollozzo or face a lengthy, bloody and costly gang war. They refuse, and instead send Sonny a Sicilian message, in the form of 2 fresh fish wrapped in Luca Brasi's bulletproof vest. Sonny wants to go to the mattresses, set up beds in apartments for Corleone button men to operate out of in the event of a crime war. Clemenza later takes Paulie and one of the family's hitmen, Rocco Lampone, for a drive into Manhattan. On their way back from Manhattan, Paulie stops the car in a remote area so he can urinate. Michael Corleone visits his father at a small private hospital after having dinner with Kay at her hotel. He is shocked to find that no one is guarding him. A nurse tells him that the men were interfering with hospital policy. Michael enlists help from Enzo the baker to bluff away Sollozzo's men as they drive by. Sollozzo requests a meeting with the Corleones, which Captain McCluskey will attend as Sollozzo's bodyguard. When Michael volunteers to kill both men during the meeting, Sonny and the other senior family members are amused. Michael convinces them that he is serious. Michael meets with Clemenza, who prepares a small pistol for him, covering the trigger and grip with tape to prevent any fingerprint evidence. The plan is to have the Corleones' informers find out the location of the meeting and plant the revolver before Michael, Sollozzo and McCluskey arrive. Michael is sent to hide in Sicily while the Corleone family prepares for all-out warfare with the 5 families. 3 months later, when the Don returns home, he is distraught to learn that it was Michael who killed Sollozzo and McCluskey. By Italian tradition, nobody, not even a high-ranking mafia Don, can intervene in a married couple's personal disputes. Meanwhile, Connie and Carlo's marriage is disintegrating. They argue frequently over Carlo's suspected infidelity. Carlo has one of his mistresses phone his house, knowing that Connie will answer. The woman asks Connie to tell Carlo not to meet her tonight. The very pregnant and distraught Connie throws a tantrum, throwing the plates with their dinner around the dining room and kitchen. Carlo takes advantage of the altercation to beat Connie in order to lure Sonny out in the open. Don Corleone meets with the heads of the 5 families to negotiate a ceasefire. Vito agrees to provide political protection for Tattaglia's traffic in heroin, as long as it is controlled and not sold to children. In Sicily, Michael patiently waits out his exile, protected by Don Tomasino, Corrado Gaepa, an old family friend. Michael aimlessly wanders the countryside, accompanied by his ever-present bodyguards, Calo, Franco Chiti, and Fabrizio, Angelo Infanti. In a small village, Michael meets and falls in love with Apollonia Vitelli, Simonetta Stefanelli. They court and marry in the traditional Sicilian fashion, but soon Michael's presence becomes known to Corleone enemies. In 1950, Michael reunites with his former girlfriend Kay after a total of 4 years of separation. With Don Vito semi-retired, Sonny dead, and middle brother Frito considered incapable of running the family business. 2 years later, Clemenza and Salvatore Tessio, Abe Vigoda, complain that they are being pushed around by the Barzini family and ask permission to strike back. Michael denies the request. He plans to move the family operations to Nevada. After the Don's attempted assassination, Frito had been sent to Las Vegas to learn about the casino business from Mo Green. Michael arrogantly offers to buy out Green but is rudely rebuffed. Vito reveals that he had never really intended a life of crime for Michael. He hoped that his youngest son would hold legitimate power as a senator or governor. Vito collapses and dies while playing with his young grandson Anthony. Kay asks Michael if he'll agree to be godfather to Connie and Carlo's newborn son. Michael agrees and seizes the opportunity to eliminate competition from the other 5 families. The murders occur simultaneously during the ceremony. Don Strachey, Don Costello, is gunned down along with his bodyguard in a hotel elevator by a shotgun-wielding Clemenza. Mo Green is killed while having a massage. shot through the eye by an unidentified assassin. Mo Green is one of the most popular comic book characters of all time. Don Cuneo, Rudy Bond, is trapped in a revolving door at the St. Regis Hotel and shot dead by soldier Willie Chichi. Joe Spinell Don Tatalia is assassinated in bed, along with a prostitute, by Rocco Lampone and an unknown associate. He is killed in front of his wife and 2 children. Don Barzini is killed on the steps of his office building along with his bodyguard and driver. He is shot by Al Neri, Richard Bright, disguised in his old police uniform. Tessio believes he and Hagen are on their way to the meeting between Michael and Barzini that he has arranged. Instead, he is surrounded by Willie Chichi and other button men as Hagen steps away. Tessio tells Hagen that he always respected Michael, and that his disloyalty was only business. Michael confronts Carlo about Sonny's murder and forces him to admit his role in setting up the ambush. Michael assures Carlo he will not be killed, but his punishment is exclusion from all family business. However, when Carlo gets into a car headed for the airport, he is immediately garroted to death by Clemenza. Connie confronts Michael at the Corleone compound as movers carry away the furniture in preparation for the family move to Nevada. She accuses him of murdering Carlo in retribution for Carlo's brutal treatment of her. Michael outright lies, reassuring his wife that he played no role in Carlo's death.